wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities on the local, national, and international levels. If you want to follow the Wrestle Talk Podcast, check us out online at www.wrestletalkpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And now, it's time for the reigning, defending, undisputed leader in pro wrestling podcast, the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Good evening and happy Tuesday night, wrestling fans. Happy Valentine's Day. We hope that you find this well. This is the one and only Wrestle Talk Podcast. My name is the one and only Big Sexy, the Road Dog Chris Rodell, coming to you straight from the St. Louis area. And tonight we're on WrestleTalkPodcast.com, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all those spots, and we're gonna have a great night. We're trudging that road to WrestleMania. Got a little stop in Montreal at the Elimination Chamber, talk about some local wrestling. We got a great guest in our second hour from up in the West Virginia area. He's got a show coming up in the West Virginia area in a couple of weeks. So I can't do this alone. We always have a co-host or two. And it's my honor to welcome back to the Wrestle Talk Podcast one of the OGs of the WTP. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome in the one and only Nightmare Jones. Joey, how's it going, brother? How you been?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh man,
how are you doing?
It's been good. I hope everything's been going well. I know that you've had a little bit of health issues.
I have been having some health issues, but you know what? The Snitch is still the Dynamo Pro Heavyweight Champion, so I'm good, baby.
This is true. The Snitch is still. Did you happen to hear Luke Roberts, Skywalker Roberts, his prediction at the end of our end of the year recap show? I don't know if you heard it or not. He said that the Snitch would not be the Dynamo Pro Champion at the end of 2023. I think that now you're going to have some heat with a little bit of heat with a Skywalker.
Well, you know, it's. I'm not afraid to have a little bit of heat because we all know that Snitch is going to be the Dynamo Pro Heavyweight Champion forever. So,
all right, and you know what? You can now support the Wrestle Talk Podcast by sending us some stars to help us earn a little bit of money, so we can keep doing the things that we do, going to these conventions and Hall of Fame banquets and that kind of stuff. We also can get some prizes for you, so make sure you send us some stars and take good care of us. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. You know, we're trudging the road to WrestleMania. Some of the best storylines that there have been in a very long time have been happening. I know you said did you make it out to your WDWA show this past weekend?
I did. It was a good show.
How much did it key you not to get in the ring and referee a match or two?
It was very, very, very difficult. I've been doing this for like 6 years, and you know, not being able to do it for the time being, it definitely stinks. But I'll be back in that ring sooner than later.
Yes, and I know they can't wait to probably see you there. But you know what? The Wrestle Talk Podcast, we're at like episode 428, I believe. I believe this is episode 428. Did you ever think we would make it? The Wrestle Talk Podcast would make it this far? With your first? Because were you on the first episode?
Yeah, I started the Wrestle Talk Podcast basically by myself. So yeah.
and here we are, 400 something episodes later. You got.
Well, 400 episodes with me and Renee, but like I said, you know, before that it was me and Rick, and then it was me and JB, and before that it was just me. So I've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's a great thing. We got new blood in here, so everything is good. But you know what? We would be nowhere without our sponsors. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this up here, and we're gonna thank our sponsors: Royal Mills Transportation, Dewan Mills. He'll get you around KC. Rathbun Engraving, that Wrestle Talk podcast mug, $20. Nobleman's Barbershop, KC, Missouri. Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall. I-70 Sports Media, the one and only the Maestro Jeremy Carp. Little Popeye Designs. You can get, they bring us that Wrestle Talk tumbler. And the one and only, the greatest world premiere fantasy wrestling group, the FWWC. And as always, go ahead and throw up your comments. There you go. And of course, there's Jared. He wants to be a smart aleck.
Wow, somebody doesn't like you, Chris.
Yeah. Hey, what can I say? I mean, I don't know.
You did it with champs.
There you go. There.
See? That is you. That is a comment from the forever Dynamo Pro Heavyweight Champion.
Oh God, it's gonna be one of those shows. I can tell. Well, Joe, you know we have a tradition around here that we like to do every single week for the Wrestle Talk podcast. I know you know what it is, and I know you like to announce it. So and bring it into existence. So if you want to go ahead and you know what we're talking about here.
Hopefully, we have a better version than we had last time I was on. That was just atrocious. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to honor the greatest country in the world, and that is America, damn it.
Oh God. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. That doesn't. I always hope that maybe this week it'll be better than the last week, but it never ends up being any better. I don't know if that's better or worse than the Carl Lewis one.
We only have to deal with it until it gets flagged, and then we have to do another one. So.
And for those of you that are coming in as Facebook users, if you're getting it from a group, make sure that you that make it that we can see your name, because all we're seeing is Facebook users. So apparently someone said that you need a tasing again. I don't know who it is. I want to give proper credit to that. I don't know.
We don't do tasers. Tasers are definitely not a thing anymore.
Tasers are definitely not a thing.
Nope.
You got tased one time. You were good. You're good after that, aren't you?
I did my whole "don't tase me, bro," and he tased me anyways.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could have been there to see it live. I'm not gonna lie. So
one day you're gonna have to come.
I am gonna have to come up to that area up there, Custom Creations up there with WDWA. But we got another group that's gonna be in Martinsburg in a couple of weeks. So, so what we're gonna talk about, we're gonna talk to Michael Black, and I believe you are very familiar with Mr. Michael Black.
He's been my boss for quite some time since in ATCW, so it'd be good to be able to talk to him again.
That's awesome. So you know what? We got a lot going on in the wrestling world right now. We got WrestleMania around the corner, Elimination Chamber this weekend. We got crazy stuff with Japan, AEW. So, are you ready for some you ready to take care of the high spots?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
All right.
Check,
first stage, check. DJ Money.
Yeah. All right. Wrestle Talk Podcast. DJ Money. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to High Spots, where we pop news like flare chops. We talk shop, coming through the screens of a laptop. And non-stop like a runner's speeches of blacktop. We hit hard like chair shots and backdrops. Like a clock flash, look like a belly flop. Now that's hard. We up to speed while they stay slow. Wrestle Talk Podcast, now they know. We about to start the show.
All right, man. As we get into the high spots, a couple of comments coming across. Yes, Susie, we can see your you can see your name now. Are you the responsible one for the tasing? The tasing comment?
Probably so, because that sounds something like Susie. So
Yeah.
probably so.
We've got Drew Chandler checking in, Pinky checking in from the beautiful snow-capped mountains of
Mountain
Topeka.
Dew Michael Blackman. He does like his Mountain Dew. This is true.
The snow-capped mountains of Topeka, Kansas, which I didn't know there were. One, I didn't know there were any mountains in Topeka, Kansas, and I didn't know they were snow-capped. So, I mean, it's all good to go. So, you know what? We got this new little thing here on the high spots segment, and of course, Sonny comes in with a. You knew he was going to say something about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Super Bowl champions. Congratulations to all of my KC Chiefs fans out there as they celebrate their second Super Bowl win in the last few years. Patrick Mahomes is probably one of the best quarterbacks around. I will admit that. So, and I just saw that. Let me get rid of this comment real quick. We have our third co-host of the evening that just popped in, and I believe I don't know if you've officially met him, but he is our correspondent on the West Coast in the beautiful city of in the beautiful state of Washington. Please welcome Justin Wade to the program. Justin,
gentlemen, how are we all doing this evening?
Oh,
What's going on?
How are things up? How are things up in the Pacific Northwest?
It's a nice cold day, about 36 the high. We had snow last night. I'm ready for spring, I'm ready for baseball season. I'm tired of hearing about the Super Bowl. And you should be taking that Blues jersey off because they're not doing very good as it is. So,
I understand, but I'm ride or die with the Blues, and so.
All right. It's all right. It's all right.
So
nice to meet you, Nightmare.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should be a good show.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good show. Got a lot to talk about. Now, boys, I'm a little nervous because I've been very busy in my current job. There's a lot of bad people in the town of Marysville that I had to do some investigating work for. So it kept me from getting prep for the show. So bear with me, okay, tonight.
You're good.
We'll trust you. And I was just going to explain to Joe that we now have a randomizer for our we now have a randomizer for our high spot segment. As soon as I had to find it on the soundboard here, so I'm going to go ahead and start the randomizer. And then last time I was with Renee, it didn't really work that well. So let's see if we have any problems with it tonight. So. I think it's supposed to be 6, but what? Okay, we're gonna start things off with a little bit of something more close to what happened last night. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
My God, all I can say is that was probably the best promo that's been on TV in the very longest time. I felt like I needed a cigarette after the promo, because I thought it was that damn good.
It was.
Justin, you want to start? Justin, you want to go ahead and go first?
So I don't know what happens. I don't know if they prepare for multiple people to get popular going into WrestleMania, because it seems like the last handful of years, maybe the last 10 years since WrestleMania 30, they've been preparing for triple threats going into Mania. With Daniel Bryan taking on Batista and Orton, and then you had Daniel Bryan and Edge taking on Roman 2 years ago. It seems like they always plan ahead. The promo between these two last night is getting me excited. Like I got old school Rumble vibes from this past Rumble. I really enjoyed it. Cody, he's on a mission for that belt. Sammy is on a path of revenge. It's got all. See, and they're gonna cross paths. They're gonna get in each other's way, and only one's gonna stand tall. And then you got the High Chief Roman, who's sitting on the. It's good to see you too, Susie. Got Roman, who's just watching. He's hoping that this car wreck. He hopes he can pick up the pieces. But
did you see his TikTok? He posted on TikTok today too. And
I stay away from TikTok. I don't do that. So
the WWE also posted on their Twitter page. But yeah, it was basically, he said, if you need a pep rally to get ready for a match with me, neither one of you stand a chance. Basically, so
has anyone seen a heel of his stature in recent time? He is one of the best heels going today. And you know what? This is all of his embodiment of him trying to be cheered when he was a good guy. This is him saying, "You want to boo me? I'll give you a reason to boo now."
I mean, it's awesome. It's kind of, now some people I know will say that he's not, because he still gets cheers from the fans. He's technically a face, but I don't see it that way. I see him as like the number one heel in the company, and he's going to have to deal with Cody at WrestleMania. I am so looking forward to Saturday or Sunday, whatever day the Elimination Chamber is.
Saturday.
And that response that Sammy is going to get in Montreal is going to be mind-blowing, I think. It's going to be it's going to be similar to, remember when Cena faced CM Punk in Chicago? I believe it was a Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and Punk came out and was cheered, and Cena was booed, and he was playing. It's about only one of two times that you ever seen John Cena play a heel character. Besides that, and that the ECW One Night Stand versus Rob Van Dam. I'm not saying that Roman's going to play full heel like that. However, I think Sami Zayn's going to get like the biggest response we've had in a long time. So, Joe?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I absolutely loved the promo. The only thing that I had about it is that they were building Sami Zayn up, and what if Sami Zayn doesn't win at the Elimination Chamber? If Sami Zayn loses at the Elimination Chamber in Canada, the WWE Universe is going to go wild. I don't see how that they can't have Sami Zayn win. And if they do win, then does that make the WrestleMania match a triple threat match?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we have a question last week about is the crowd going to eventually turn on Cody Rhodes because Sami Zayn is so over?
I'm also worried too that they're going to turn on Cody because of Roman. He's got so much heat that he's putting on killer promos, a bloodline storyline. I'm nervous that Cody's going to get booed, and but hey, that's how fans are. This is what wrestling's all. You pick who you like, enjoy yourself, and have a damn good time.
Right. I mean, and there's always these like stories that come out. Daniel Bryan wasn't supposed to be like as over as he was, and he found a way to get himself over. Would you be okay with it turning into a triple threat at WrestleMania between Cody, Sammy, and I don't think that's where they're heading. Because I think we're heading to Usos versus Kevin and Sammy for the tag titles.
I would like to see night 1 Sammy or Cody, night 2 Sammy or Cody against Reigns. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a triple threat. I want to see Roman defend on night 1 against either of those two, and then night 2, whoever, So, because it's 2-night Mania this year. So, and I think that they should have Roman run the gauntlet if he's going to drop the belts.
I mean, would you have him have one title up for grabs on night 1? If they truly want to split the titles, the easiest way to do it is have him defend the title both nights.
Yeah, that's what, because they had that kind of in mind until they found out The Rock wasn't going to be on board. They wanted to do 2 nights, Roman defending both nights.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would like to see. And here's the thing: when Cody and Sammy do cross paths in the ring, to fight one another, it's gonna be a barn burner. They're gonna tear the house down because they both can work. I watched a lot of Cody stuff on the independent scene, and Sammy when he was, El Generico and Ring of Honor. That stuff. They know how to tear the house down. They're gonna bring it.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you in that way. It's gonna be awesome. You got any final thoughts, Joey?
Oh, I'm just excited to see what they are going to do, and I'm really kind of excited that they decided not to do the whole Lita and Trish elimination chamber. The match with Becky and Damage Control. At least they haven't announced it yet, so hopefully that doesn't really happen. So.
I mean, yeah,
It's too late now because unless they do something on Friday SmackDown, for that tag match. Sorry to interrupt you, Sexy.
No, you're fine. You're good. Don't worry, I'm going to take this down here in a second. I forgot to get it set up earlier, so.
That's okay.
We need that for late. We need that for later. So ignore what you just saw. So, are we ready to move on to our next topic?
Yeah, let's go. Like, I hope we get to talk about Elimination Chamber in general because I believe it's a stacked card. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Asking you shall receive.
He walks out the women's elimination chamber match to face Becky. Oh,
so you got Carmella, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan, Asuka, Natalya, Raquel Rodriguez, and who am I missing? Am I missing anybody?
Yeah, there's supposed to be one more. I thought it was supposed to be Bailey or.
No, because
they didn't win.
No, because Bianca won the triple threat last night, so they didn't get.
There's one spot open still, I believe, and I think they'll probably fill it this Friday on SmackDown.
I'm pretty sure all six were picked.
Okay, I'm sorry, my mistake. I have it comes down to it. I'd like to see Asuka win, but I think it's going to be. I think Bianca's going to blaze into WrestleMania with the belt.
Well, yeah. Well, Bianca's in it's just a number one contenders match. It's going to be the winner is going to be who takes. Come on, just kidding.
I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you two gentlemen speak. I want to see Asuka win though. So.
Yeah.
I believe of the six that are in there, Asuka probably would be the better match. I mean, I can't say I wouldn't want Liv Morgan to do it. Because I like Liv Morgan's character, but yeah.
I mean, for me, I would have to say either Asuka or I really like Raquel Rodriguez. Like they've really been like pushing her, and I think her against Bianca Belair would probably be a really good match.
I do too. I really do believe it's going to be Asuka though. She tore it up a couple Manias ago with Charlotte when she won the Women's Royal Rumble. So I think you want to trust someone who's gonna bring the house down with Bianca, who is running hot, but she is fairly new to the game. What better way to put her over by having Asuka do the honors,
So while we're talking about the Elimination Chamber, we have the men's for the Austin Theory's title.
U.S. title.
U.S. title. Theory, Montez Ford. Why is my brain
Damian Priest.
Rollins. Theory. Here we go. Pinky's always got our back. Theory, Rollins, Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. Well, we know who's going. We know.
I think Theory's going over. He's going to walk out to steal the U.S. champion.
I believe so. I believe so too, because apparently he's going to find a way to maybe get into some kind of an angle with John Cena for WrestleMania, and I don't. is that could it be possibly that Theory drops the title because he doesn't really need a title to face John Cena at WrestleMania? Because we know John Cena is not going to be the U.S. champion.
No, but it doesn't hurt him having a belt. Period, though. I believe they're strapping rockets to his back. He put on a phenomenal performance at Survivor Series in the triple threat against Lashley and Rollins. He was the odd man out, and he performed above and beyond, in my opinion. And I think I think he's a great worker. I'm still trying to get behind his gimmick, but I think he's been putting on some damn good matches. I think he'll go into Mania with the belt, and I don't know. I don't really care if Cena comes back to face him, but he's got to do something. That would be a big win for Theory if they have him go against Cena.
I'm taking this one out of the randomizer because since we're talking about Elimination Chamber, we had this question: is Montez Ford being in the Elimination Chamber going to lead to the end of the Street Profits tag team? And I'm tired of hearing about the Street Profits going to be breaking up. I've been hearing about it for over a year. It's either they're going to do it or they don't do it.
Yeah, it's eventually going to happen. And I think that when it does, I think that Montez Ford is going to be one heck of a singles competitor. I'm not so sure about the other guy though. I mean, who knows?
I really don't think they're strong enough to be separated. They need to keep them together. I don't think they've built enough. It's good to have them, do this, where one of them's going for something single-wise, because they did that from time to time when during the Hart Foundation run, they would split up Brett and Jim during the summer and let Brett do singles things, and then they would bring them back together for SummerSlam and then so forth. So, it's good from time to time to see if he can fly on his own, but I don't think he's ready yet to be solo.
I mean, and Montez Ford is a great I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone jump as high as he does with that frog splash. So, I mean, I know I couldn't do that. So, I mean that's my thought on it. So, and I've seen this with what Drew said, being U.S. champion, the storyline. Maybe you don't even need to really build up the match. You could do like an open like John Cena used to do his open challenges for the U.S. title, and then him just be there. You don't need him because he's in Australia right now filming something for Amazon Prime. I mean, keep the match short and sweet, and I mean,
you got to protect Cena too. He can't get hurt because of all that money he's making in Hollywood.
I think that's partially why Rock probably didn't really want to do the whole Mania thing because I mean,
he doesn't need it. He don't need it.
Speaking of Mania, I want to bring up a topic. I'm gonna toss out the randomizer right now. We haven't had. I find it funny that we haven't had any members of the Hall of Fame announced. So that made me think. Hold on, I got two up at one time. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. I'm trying. Who should be inducted into the 2023 WWE Hall of Fame? Name one female tag team celebrity and a wild card. I know that's a lot to take in. Justin, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'll start. Male-wise, let's see. Who hasn't been in it that could be in it? Well, give me a second here. You got who's performing right now that isn't having a Hall of Fame career? Female. I'll start with my female. I've always dug. I don't know if she's in it, but she fought Alundra Blaze, Medusa a long time ago. Oh, I'm trying to think of her damn name.
Bull Nakano?
Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano?
I truly believe she should be one of the females. She did terrorize the women's division in 94-95, and she, introduced me to female professional wrestling in Japan, where if you've seen it, they do everything they can to kill each other. Tag team, I'd love to see the British Bulldogs put in at some point, or the Brainbusters, Tully and Arn. But I think they're somewhat affiliated with AEW kind of still. Let's see, celebrity. Let's put in I do believe Logan Paul is doing a damn good job. I've put him in. Just go ahead and put him in because he's one of the most talented celebrities to ever come into the wrestling business. But then you had Jay Leno perform at Road Wild in '97. So or was that 90? I think it was 98. He performed in '98. Yeah. And and then the wild card. Let's go wild card. Let's put in Paul Roma.
Oh Jesus! Get out of here! I think you've just lost every bit
I still got to give you the male name though for the Hall of Fame, the big one. The big one. Let's see. Hell, that's a tough one. Because so many names are already in the Hall of Fame. Rick Rude, is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
Yes, he went in. His son put him in, I believe.
Okay. Let's put in. Well, I don't think did they put Batista in?
No, he was supposed to go in, but something came up that he couldn't go in, so he's technically not in the Hall of Fame right now.
Yeah, let's put him in. That's my male. So I got my picks. So.
All right, Joey.
For the males, I would like to go with Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious had one heck of a career, and not just WWE but WCW and whatnot. For the women, I would like to see AJ Lee be inducted into the Hall of Fame because her what she did with the women's title. For tag team, one of my favorite tag teams is still not in the Hall of Fame. That's Demolition. Demolition should definitely have been in the Hall of Fame. They should have been in the Hall of Fame by now, but apparently Axe still has issues with Vince, I guess. For the celebrity, Cyndi Lauper, because of everything she did with the WrestleMania. I think it was two. It was one of the WrestleManias.
One for sure. I think maybe she was a part of two as well.
And then for the wild card, the Brooklyn Brawler.
Ooh.
I want to change my answer for male. I'm taking Batista out, and I'm putting in one of my favorites, Dick the Bruiser.
Oh,
so, there you go.
That's a good one. I'm going to stick with Batista because I think that's the obvious name for the males. a couple of females that we might Michelle McCool or Victoria.
Okay.
I think either one of those would be good. Tag teams, Demolition. I can dig the Demolition pick because I've always loved Demolition. They have one of my top 5 theme songs of all time ever. Tell me you don't get pumped up whenever you see whenever you hear the Demolition theme.
Oh, you mean the Road Warriors knockoff?
Right. Everything in wrestling is always always
Demolition. Demolition back in the day was they had some great matches. They had a 2 out of 3 fall match with the Brainbusters. They had fantastic matches with the Hart Foundation. There's a match from WrestleFest '88 where they did it at Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Brewers baseball stadium. They defended the tag belt against the British Bulldogs. It was short but sweet. So they got some great matches out there. So they'll probably start announcing the Hall of Fame. Is there another pay-per-view before Mania?
No. We have nothing between Elimination Chamber and Mania. For celebrity, I like the Cyndi Lauper pick, and my brain just went blank on who I was going to pick. Hold on. I'm going to have to come back to that because I had the name in hand and I just completely lost it. So right now we're going to go with Cyndi Lauper. And for a wild card, I think Justin may like this one. The Great Muta.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's trying to get rid of it.
you have precedence in it with Inoki being in the Hall of Fame. You know, I mean, Muta
And
was a part.
They just let Nakamura participate in a retirement match with Muta. So
Who is the celebrity that I had in mind? I can't think of it. It's going to come to me. It's going to come to me at a time that's not outside. That's outside of the Wrestle Talk podcast. Let's just say that. So, a couple of other. Drew Chandler said Batista, Michelle McCool. Ooh, the fabulous Rougeau. The Rougeau brothers.
Their theme song is the funniest damn wrestling theme song I've ever heard in my life.
You're talking about the All American Boys theme?
Oh my God, yes. the fact that they're singing it is just amazing. They have I'm glad they took light of the situation. You know that everybody knew they were a goofy tag, but they were also a damn talented tag team.
They come down with that little
the little American flags,
the little flags, just.
Kevin Federline, and I like the Umaga pick. I like the Umaga pick.
Umaga.
He wasn't around very long, but kind of fits with the whole bloodline storyline thing. I mean, in Solo Sikoa being a modern day Umaga look a lot, you know. So, I mean, if you've got any thoughts on who you want to be in the Hall of Fame this year, go ahead and drop them.
We send it in. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
I love people. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I love hearing these things because there's so many people. Because another person I think deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It's an older school type thing. Is the Doctor of Style? For manager wise, the Doctor of Style, Slick. Tell me, Slick doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
You mean he's not in the Hall of Fame yet? I thought he was.
No, as far as I know, he is not in the Hall of Fame.
I was a Slick guy until he became a face manager, and he did some management toward the end of his WWF run, where he was pretty much managing low-level jobbers. Like I think he was managing what's his name? The great Kamala.
Kamala,
yeah, that tarnished my image of him. I liked it when he was managing. I think he managed Power and Glory. Roma and Hercules.
Yes.
And he managed the King and the Boss Man. He managed some tag teams. I just I guess that right there could get him in. But once he managed Kamala, I was done with him. So.
Yeah, I remember when he managed Kamala because it was the whole thing where Kamala made his face turn. He was a heel and he was being abused by Kimchi and Danny Davis, and then Slick started coming down and interfering. Yeah, I remember that.
It was kind of an odd gimmick change. I mean, Jive Soul Bro is another one of my top 5 themes of all time. I love that song. Just love the Jive Soul.
Am I correct when I say this? Wasn't they like his gimmicks? They didn't say it, but it was kind of based off of probably like a pimp, right?
Originally, I believe so.
Originally, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he went to then he became. I believe he became a real life reverend, and then decided
he was Reverend Slick after he found the light, but he was just Slick before that. So
that's kind of an interesting one, Pinky. Jonathan the Coachman.
I like Coachman. He I couldn't stand him, but that's what he was trying to get. He didn't want people liking him, and he did a damn good job of it.
Yeah, he definitely did. So we're gonna kind of come off of the WWE thing. We'll be joined in the a little after top of the hour by our guest Michael Black, the IWL. Sorry, I got 15,000 things going through my head right now. This would probably be more up Justin's alley because he's a big New Japan. He's a big New Japan person. Jay White.
I think I see that as speculation as him coming to the States. I think that's a bad idea. The reason I say that is because I love AEW. I like it that we have another option, but it seems like he'll get lost in the shuffle. He was already in AEW for a cup of coffee, and it didn't really come off real strong. I also think that WWE is in a good spot right now, and I don't think he would come off hot in the WWE. I think he should re-sign with New Japan. I think he'll succeed there, and he can have a real good career there if if the crowd still digs him over there. So
For me,
go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
For me, I would say for him to stay in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and if he really wants to come to the States, then I would say that Impact Wrestling would probably be one of the better places for him to be. Because he wouldn't be lost in the shuffle. He would be a main person there, and I feel that out of the three major companies in the States, I would have to say Impact Wrestling.
I could see Impact. It's not like he hasn't been in Impact Wrestling before.
Exactly.
I don't think your casual WWE fan is going to know who, like Picky said, I don't think your casual WWE fan is going to know who Jay White even is.
He might get a character change if he goes to WWE.
But then all of his hardcore fans are going to turn on him. So
yep.
I mean, and maybe he is going to be coming over for the New Japan Dojo over here in the States.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't say that he has to be gone from New Japan. It just says he has to leave Japan. He just had to leave Japan. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Susie also came up with another for the Hall of Fame, Brother Love.
Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, that's awesome. That gimmick always was. I
mean, that makes sense because he was a part of some like really really major things. So yeah, that
his first manager.
Yeah.
So his debut, yeah. So
all right, we got time for. I think we got time for one more quick question. I don't know if anyone caught this past week. I don't know how much you guys follow NWA. Bully Ray showed up in NWA. Tyrus retained his title against Matt Cardona. Apparently, Bully Ray wants a title. Do we really want to? Me personally, I really don't want to see a Tyrus versus Bully Ray match.
It's not a main event. It's an opener for WWE in the summertime for a house show. So,
ouch!
Wow!
Even if it's for the NWA, the 10 pounds of gold.
Neither of them should be around that belt. They should take it off of them and never let them touch that belt again.
Tell us how you really feel. Jeez.
Okay, I am not a fan of Tyrus. I've never been a fan of the Brodus. Even when he was Brodus Clay back in the WWE, I was never a fan.
He was a joke, and I think they got him the NWA title because he does the news.
Exactly.
News
Exactly, because every show that he does on Fox News, he has the title with him. So
I would like to see,
them to.
No, so go ahead, Joe.
There's a way for them to get some more exposure. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really watched NWA. I think I watched one of their other pay-per-views that they had on YouTube. So I haven't really been keeping up with it. So I don't know hardly that much really about the NWA right now.
Well, I'd like to. I try to pay attention to as much as I can on YouTube and stuff. And the social media. I don't get to watch the shows or the pay-per-views regularly. I think they should build Bully Ray as the monster heel who challenges for the NWA title like back in the day, like when they would have the monster heel run roughshod over a bunch of guys to take on Bruno. Then the monster heel will take on Bruno. I'd like to see Trevor Murdoch with the belt again. And I would like to see. I could see Bully Ray and Trevor fighting for the belt with Trevor. If Bully Ray does the honors, I don't think he should have the belt. I don't mean to sound like a hater of Titus, or if that's his name, right? Titus.
Tyrus.
Tyrus. I'm sorry. I'm tongue tied tonight. Tyrus. He just doesn't give me that recognition as NWA champion. I'm sure he's happy as hell. He thinks he deserves it and stuff. And who am I to say? I'm not in the business as much as I used to be, but we're on a podcast with opinions matter, and we have our likes and dislikes. I just think I think that would be a horrendous. I wouldn't buy the show if that was a main event of a pay-per-view. So Bully Ray and Tyrus.
So what you're saying is
Drew a dime, not a dime.
That's
Not a dime.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like when they said Jeff Jarrett never drew a dime when he hit someone over the head with a guitar. You know, there was a documentary. He broke all those guitars and never drew a dime.
Yeah.
Oh, but tell me you didn't enjoy every single time that Jeff Jarrett slammed a guitar over someone's head. Tell me you didn't laugh at that. I mean,
No, I didn't because over time you're like, well, that guitar. If it was real, like the Honky Tonk Man had guitars. I don't think his were gimmicked. Because there's a few times when he rocked Jake the Snake Roberts and it looked like he killed him. Now that was funny as hell. But when he did it to when Jeff did it to anyone, it looked like he was hitting him with a cardboard guitar.
It was a gimmicked guitar. It was hollowed out. There was nothing in the middle of it. It was cardboard. I mean, you've been around the wrestling business. You know how gimmick tables go and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And this is what I've been trying to explain to people. Bully Ray is one of those guys that you love to see every now and then, but not all the time. He is at the point of his career where he is now just a nostalgia act.
I'm sorry. Not even that.
You pull him out for the random Royal Rumble. I could see him being in the Royal Rumble in the Mania's in Philly next year, not Royal Rumble, but you could see him coming out for a random Royal Rumble or a random Raw tribute show or something like that. That's my opinion on that.
When people don't bring this up at the Royal Rumble, Mysterio never entered. So, he never lost if you think about it. And if you think about it, Cody Rhodes, after he won the Rumble, he hopped over the top rope to leave the ring. So, Mysterio could potentially.
Are you saying Mysterio's going to throw his hat into the ring? Is he going to hire a lawyer to try to?
I mean,
he's going to limp his broken down body to say that I want a main event again. No, he's preparing to fight Dominic. I think at Mania. I think that's.
Yeah,
and apparently, I see something on Twitter that apparently Rhea and Dominic showed up at Rey Mysterio's house again to ruin Valentine's Day. So, I mean, you have to really like the way this. I mean, it's so stupid. It's funny. I mean, imagine if he gets thrown in jail again. Jimmy Chris, he's gonna come out with full face tats or something.
He's already got a face tat. He's already got the teardrop.
So, and I missed it at the beginning of the show, but we have to send out some condolences to the family. Speaking of Jeff, we were speaking of Jeff Jarrett a second ago. That what made me think about it. Legendary AWA promoter Jerry Jarrett passed away today. So we want to send all the condolences that we can to the Jarrett family. I mean, so it's just one of those things. It's like Jerry Jarrett has had pretty good influence on people, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Because of him, a lot of names came up through the business. I think that's where Austin, after he left Texas, where he was working for a time, he was working for Jerry Jarrett, and that's even though he wasn't getting the money that he wished he was getting, because he did make comments about that in his documentaries and biographies and stuff. But he got to train there before he went on to Atlanta. So a lot of big names. We also got Jeff. I know I'm joking about Jeff never drawing a dime, but I remember Jeff making his mark in the mid '90s with WWF. Those matches he had with with Scott Hall for the Intercontinental title were classics, in my opinion. So it's a sad day because then also last week we lost Laney Poffo, correct? Last week.
Yes.
So it just seems like and people are like all these deaths are happening left and right. Well, it's not just that; it's just the people we grew up with. They're getting older. Life goes on and stuff. It's sad, but it's just a time period when our heroes and stuff and it's also the wrestling business, So it's very
It's
sad.
I mean, there's going to be a couple probably when that pass away. I was really affected by whenever Howard Finkel passed away, and then Mean Gene Okerlund passed away. Though being an announcer and a commentator and stuff like that, those are guys that really, I follow.
Yeah, when Macho passed, I was terribly upset. He was one of my favorites, and he was getting ready to do a partnership with the WWE when he passed. So, just think what we might have gotten if he was, still around. You just got to celebrate their life. And, I didn't see WWE yet post anything, but I've seen Impact, AEW, NWA.
WWE apparently they did. I know. I was watching NXT. They did the in memory of graphic for him. So, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you just, I guess, like you said, we're probably at the age now where our heroes are leaving us. So,
but it's sad that he's gone, but celebrate his life. Let's make it a positive.
Exactly.
He gave a lot to the business. Now his son. His son's been trying to carry that on. What he gave to the business, and hopefully he can continue his legacy.
And let's be honest, Jeff Jarrett's a little bit older than us, and he looks better than he looks better now than he did back when he was wrestling on a regular basis. I'm just
absolutely.
I'm just saying. So we are going to switch gears from our high spots segment, and we do have the CEO Dewan Mills is backstage. Hopefully, he can hear me and paying attention to us. So we can get ready. Oh yes, he just. We know Dewan is pumped up. I know Dewan is probably more pumped up than ever to come on to this segment. So I am going to bring him on right now. Our FWWC segment, ladies and gentlemen, it's the CEO Dewan Mills. How's everything?
Oh, just 1 second, sir. Just 1 second, because there's something I have to do. Can you hear me and can you see me? Am I heard?
We can hear you and we can see
you.
We can see you.
And okay. Well, listen to this. Come on, damn it. Hey, Chris Rodell.
What?
Big homie. Big dog. My brother. I owe you a beer when I come to St. Louis. But for now, welcome to the Red Kingdom. Let's cut that off, man. Dude.
When I was naming the show tonight, I actually named the show Red Kingdom in honor of the KC Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I know that you guys are all pretty excited over the Kansas City area. Renee was saying that Sunday it was electric there. I'm sure
it was. It was an experience, and to be honest with you, now in my lifetime, I've been blessed to see 3 Super Bowls from my city, 2 winning, 1 losing. But what made this year different, to be honest with you, gentlemen, is the fact that I spent the entire weekend with my 3 children and my wife. In Super Bowls previous, obviously the adults had a damn great time, and we ran around and drank beer and forgot where the hell we parked at, and it was crazy. But this year, I wanted to dedicate this time and this weekend to the Little Mills 3 so they can get the experience of Super Bowl and football. And I'm going to tell you guys, it was some of the best fun we had. It was incredible. It was great.
It was, and honestly, it was a really good game too. I would say it's probably one of the better Super Bowl games that we've had in a very long time. So yeah. I mean, I know I was giving everyone trouble about being, giving you guys trouble in Kansas City. It's just it's a Kansas City St. Louis thing. It
is.
You know what I'm talking about. So
it is. But I got you though. I owe you a beer. We have an amazing friendship, brother. I owe you a beer, dog.
Absolutely. I will be coming to KC eventually here, hopefully soon. I need to come out and catch. 1, I need to come out and catch some wrestling out there in KC. 2,
yes, sir.
need to come out and hang out because I don't know. I was watching the crowd there. I guess the KC Live is kind of similar to KC Live is similar to what we have here at Ballpark Village in St. Louis. Yep. I believe it's owned by the same
same company. That is correct.
So it looks super similar to it, and
yeah.
I'm sure you're excited. When is the parade? Did they officially announce
the parade? Is tomorrow. Unfortunately, due to my job that I'll remain nameless, is not allowing anybody to go to the parade. If we go to the parade, we'll be written up on Thursday.
How many people have called me? How many people
are you kidding me?
How many people have called in for tomorrow?
Listen, I'm not going to tell where I work at because I don't want to reveal it. I'm not even going to say it. But the first thing we heard Monday was if we go to work, or should I say if we go to the parade tomorrow, we will be written up. Nobody can go. Nobody. I know it's BS. We're not here to talk about that. What's up, Nightmare Jones? Love you, brother. Glad you're feeling better. Wasn't trying to play you off, baby. It's all good. I know, Wade. I can go on about that, but I'm not here for that because I know you guys got. Go ahead.
I'm just going to tell you that the St. Louis Cardinals win the World Series. St. Louis downtown shuts down.
They should.
You wouldn't be able to get in when the Blues won the Stanley Cup in 2019. Yep. I have a funny story about when the Blues parade because they had it on a Saturday. It was on a Saturday, and I was working. That's probably when it should be, but Dynamo Pro was contracted to do. There was a some kind of a St. Louis taco festival inside Ballpark Village. Mm-hmm. So we were downtown for the parade with all these people there. And it was like hot because it was the middle of June, and it's Midwest summers here, kind of terrible, terrible. And it had rained. It had rained in the morning, so not only did you have the heat, but you had humidity. But we were downtown, and to park, I had to pay for parade parking prices to go to my show. It was great. It's probably the best time because I got to see the parade from a distance and not have to deal with all the people. So it's a great time, but they should do it on a Saturday, or work needs to be a little bit, flexible.
I have two stories for World Series 2011. Cardinals won the World Series. I was at Mike Shannon's across the street before Ballpark Village went in. I got ossified drunk, and all my buddies, we all split up. From Mike Shannon's, I walked all the way back to Sydney Street near the brewery, back to my car. And by the time I got back to my car in October weather, I was sweating buckets from the walk. I was not drunk anymore. I hopped in my car. I had $20 to my name, and I went to Uncle Bill's 24-hour diner, and I ate like a king. And then 2 days later, when they had the parade, I was working security, actually. And I had to work security for Bank of America along the parade route. And all I had to do was make sure no one sat on the wall. Who comes up? My dad with my 10-year-old brother who wanted to stand on the wall. And I had to tell them they couldn't do it because if I let him do it, then everybody else would do it. Mm-hmm. And for the rest of the day, I had to have the grief of my old man looking at me, acting like I was the worst person on earth because I didn't let my 10-year-old brother stand on the wall. I'm like, come on, you're killing me.
but we got to take care of some. We're going to take care of some business here with the one only CEO.
Back to wrestling.
Yes, sir. So yeah. I'm not sure who's in control of the graphics.
I got it right here.
Okay. So here's the deal. Season 11 will premiere this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Season 11 of the FWWC goes live this weekend. And as people know, we're going to get into more details about this Thursday on the FWWC Tonight. But we put together a pretty amazing card for a Season 11 opener. Not a huge card, believe it or not, only 2 matches at FWWC Elimination Chamber, because a great legend said sometimes less is more. So we're going to have 2 Elimination Chamber matches, a singles match and a tag match. Here are the participants for the single match. Again, all these are non-title, nothing's on the line, but we're going to break it out and make it happen, baby. It will be our current FWWC Spartan's Heart champion, Funky Flex, taking on Hardcore Sis, taking on Moby Lee, who was the #1 contender for the heavyweight title. Sick, our European champion, Hardcore Hoss, and a mystery unnamed opponent, which will be named as we continue on through the card. So that's the singles match. What the hell? Ooh, pork chops. Good. So, getting to the tag match, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have ourselves a tag team Elimination Chamber match at FWWC Elimination Chamber. It will be the Province of Madness, who are our current tag team champions in the FWWC, going against the Lucha Legends, Assassin Syndicate, Death Posse, and for one night and one night only, our FED participants. This is one night because usually the FED doesn't blend with the main roster and vice versa. But we're going to make an exception for the season 11 premiere. It will be Killer Thorn, who's been a house of fire here lately here in the FED. That is our FWWC Evolution and Developmental Program, teaming up with none other than James Maverick. So this is also a non-title match. But I want to kind of get the tag teams going. I want to kind of get the tag team division up and rolling. And what a hell of a way to start this Saturday. So we're going to have action this Friday, and your boy, the CEO, will be in charge of that action. Because if you refer back, there was a question mark or some question marks for that Elimination Chamber singles match. So what's going to happen? This Friday, it will be an Elimination Chamber qualification match. Triple threat. Jake Wyatt versus Cannibal Lecter versus Robert. Whoever top scores in that will advance to the Elimination Chamber singles match. And we're going to have a six-way dance, baby. It's going to be live. It's going to be lit. Season 11 premieres, and it starts this week, and we're going to get it cracking. We will have more information, more guests, and more talk about FWWC Season 11 and FWWC Elimination Chamber this Thursday on the FWWC Tonight, 7:30 p.m. Central. That's my pitch, boys.
Maybe
Appreciate
Nightmare Jones will call in on Thursday. Maybe.
Oh, shit, Jones. Come on, man. I should have had you on there, brother, but I lost your number. You changed your number, homeboy.
Maybe one day. You never know.
All right.
Oh, well.
The door's always open, baby. The door's always open.
Dewan, it is good.
All
It is
right.
good seeing you as always. I know you can't enjoy the parade tomorrow, but I'm sure you're going to be watching it. You're going to be celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm going to start drinking tonight, too, baby. Go Chiefs. Oh!
All right. CEO Dewan Mills
Yeah.
in the FWWC. Catch him on Friday or Thursday for the FWWC podcast. So I kind of jumped ahead of things because I have a fat finger. We're going to jump right into our Snippets of Truth segment with Big Daddy P, but he's got theme music. Big Daddy P,
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
how you been,
What's
man?
up?
Oh, man. First of all, Nightmare.
What's up?
So great to see you, brother. I love your TikToks.
Thank you. Thank you.
And obviously, you're feeling better.
I am. I am
praise
doing
God.
better.
That means all the prayers that we've had for you over the last, I don't know how many weeks, have been answered. Do you see, guys? God is faithful. He continues to listen to us and to hear us, even if we have crazy things in the sky that we don't know what they are. Is that bacon? I mean,
Crazy world.
what a nutty world. How y'all doing?
I wish
Oh,
bacon. I wish
good.
bacon would drop from the sky. I'm not going to
Wouldn't that be great?
I mean,
No,
No
half
matter
the
how,
people
I
that
would
they
just love
can't
to
have
take a
bacon.
bath in bacon.
I mean,
That would be a mess.
well,
all right.
We went to the area I was expecting. So anyway, I don't know if you heard the news, but legendary promoter Jerry Jarrett passed away today. So
I have a great Jerry Jarrett story, actually.
Go ahead. Tell
So
it.
in Tennessee, we a friend of mine had a show where we had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, and Jeff Jarrett was there. Jerry was there, and I didn't even know who Jerry was. Right? I mean, literally, it's the first time I ever met him. I didn't even know he was Jerry Jarrett. So he comes up to me, and after about, I don't know, 3 or 4 matches, he says, "How long have you been a ring announcer?" I said, "About 3 weeks." He says, "Well, my name is Jerry Jarrett." And my buddy walks over and goes, That's Jeff's dad. I said, oh my goodness, sir. I said, so what did you think about, how I did? He said, don't change a thing. I said, okay. So that really was a blessing, and I didn't even realize, but that's my Jerry Jarrett story. But yes, unfortunately, he is face to face with the Lord, and it is what it is. There's a lot of people that unfortunately have perished, but we're still here, and that's not by accident.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. I mean, a lot of people are going through. Nightmare Jones has gone through his own medical issues. I mean, I'm dealing with my mom, still dealing with my mom with she's in a nursing home. She's being well taken care of. So everything it's a tough time in this world, I think. I mean, you think about those people in Ohio with that chemical fire with the
Michigan, all over, man. It's the whole world is covered.
MSU last night. Yes, yep. The 3 people that passed away and the 5 that were injured, and the entire community. I've seen
the
videos.
Earthquake in Turkey and Syria.
Yeah, that's terrible.
36,000 people.
Yeah, dude. He said, in this world, we'll have tribulation. He said, but take courage because I have overcome the world. So while the whole world is looking around and those that don't have any faith at all, I mean, nothing, they don't care about God. They don't, you know what I mean? And the hardest part of that is that they look at us for hope. They want to know, how are you surviving through all of this junk? And I tell them, God is the only answer. I mean, he's the one who let me breathe. He's the one who woke me up. So I might as well trust him. And I think that's people now their faith is being tested because he wants to know who trusts him, who's going to follow what he says, and who's not going to. And those who are not going to, they're judged already. So both my folks, that's tough, Susie. I'm sorry to hear that. We'll add you to the prayer request here. I know there's so much going on, but I came on tonight. I was not available last week, unfortunately, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to join you guys, but I knew I was going to be available tonight. And I just, anybody who's listening, man, if you're going through something, it's not a coincidence or an accident that you're hearing this now, because it's an opportunity that we can pray for everybody here who needs it, for those who tell us, for those who don't. The Lord certainly knows what people's thoughts are, so he knows if you're hurting. So if you happen to be watching Wrestle Talk at this moment and you got something going on, make a comment and let us pray for you, and we'll do it. But my main snippet of truth tonight is there is only one truth, one, and that truth ultimately is that God paid the price. We know we have sin in this world. We know we have evil in this world. But as I stated before, take courage because he's overcome the world. So although the enemy has a short time, he knows he has a short time. And rest assured, if you are a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, there's nothing you have to worry about. If you don't believe in God, if you're not a believer, well, then you do have something to worry about. And remember, if I'm wrong, what do you have to lose? But if I'm right, accept him today. It's a free gift. You don't have to work for it. He's ready to answer, and he's ready to help you in whatever situation you're in. So just turn to him and trust him.
Absolutely, Perry. You come on. You give us hope when there is really no. Sometimes it feels like there is no hope. So,
if you look at it from an outsider's point of view, and you see the way this world is, and everything that's going on, there isn't any hope. I mean, people don't even know if they're going to make it down the street anymore. There used to be we could take a survey right now, and anybody who's over 30, did you ever come home before dark before?
No.
No, you were gone
No.
from morning until as dark as possible, and then you came home. I mean, I was in places at 14 and 15 years old I shouldn't have been at, you know.
Us Gen Xers, we're built differently. We were told to go outside and play until the lights came on, or till the street lights came on.
That's it.
And I mean, it's different nowadays. And going back to the Michigan State University thing, I don't want to get political or anything on this, but I saw a video. I know Justin doesn't do the TikTok thing. I kind of do the TikTok thing. I saw Michigan State's been on my For You page this whole day, which obviously it should be. There was a young lady who posted on TikTok that she went to Michigan State University, and she was also a part of the Sandy Hook school
I saw
shooting.
that story.
She was part of the Sandy Hook school shooting, and she said that she was crouched down for so long that her knees are complete. Her knees or her hip are shot, or she's got injury from that because she was crouched down for so long.
Gentlemen, let me ask you this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She couldn't have been more than 22, 23, maybe at the most. If she was in fifth, I believe she said she was in fifth grade during Sandy Hook. I believe that was in 2012. But there's also people there from the Oxford, Michigan shooting 15 months ago. So, I mean.
And actually, I heard the press conference today, and one of the things that they never talk about is the source of the problem. You can't blame the guns, because the guns, you could kill anybody with anything. The problem is it's a spiritual problem. If you don't raise your kids to love and fear the Lord, they'll do whatever they want. But if you fear the Lord, if you've been brought up right, it's not happening. It's only those people who I believe who are spiritually bankrupt, who they don't even care about God. They don't care about anything. Thus, they don't care about mankind. Us three, we're not going to go out and shoot somebody. We're not, because we have a fear of God that if we do that, we're going to go to jail. And of course, today you have a lot of people shooting themselves. So they're chicken to begin with. And it's just unfortunate that we live in a world filled with people who just don't care. And there's not much we can do. We can pray for them. We can hope that they come around. But in the end, as each generation goes by, I can now look at the older generations and see why they were so afraid.
I mean, yeah, it's terrible. I don't want to get too far off subject, because it's terrible. It's something that it's a uniquely American problem, and hopefully it'll get fixed. But
Maybe it'll get fixed if they listen to this podcast and we bring their spirits up with the talk of pro wrestling.
Right.
You
never know. One
step at a time.
You never know, man. The littlest thing, and you don't have to be a pastor to be an encouragement. You don't have to be some theologian to encourage somebody. I think sometimes just being there and listening to someone is really what people need today. Unfortunately, you got a lot of talkers and not a lot of listeners, though.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Big Daddy P, it wouldn't be a Snippets of Truth segment if you didn't send us out with a special prayer. So I'm gonna give you the floor for a couple minutes. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Father God, we thank you so much for your faithfulness and for your love. Father, we know at a time like this, with all these disasters and things going on, I remember in Chronicles where people were without a teaching priest. They were without God, and he brought all kinds of distresses on them. Why? So that they would return back to you. Father, we live in a world where people don't care about you. They don't care about other people. All they care about is themselves. And Father, I just pray for protection for those who are watching this show. Father, we want to pray for both of Susie's parents. We also want to pray for all the prayer requests on here. We thank you that you brought Nightmare back on. I'm glad that you've answered our prayers as far as him feeling better. But Father, you know all the situations going on with the parents. and the health. And Father, we just know that you're faithful. We know, based upon years of trusting you, that when we come to you, we don't get a voicemail, we don't get a busy signal. But Father, for those that are listening right now who are without hope, without you, Father, I just prayed that they would hear this, that they would give you a try. I gave you a try, and you turned my life upside down in such an amazing way. Thank you for this Valentine's Day. Father, especially those who are single, who are hurting, who don't have somebody. Father, I know that there's times that it's better to be without somebody than to be with someone and be miserable. So I want to pray for those in a relationship right now that are being mistreated. Father, I pray that you encourage them, that you open every door that needs to be open, close every door that needs to be closed. Because finally, for the first time in my life, after 50 years, I now finally have met somebody that I understand what true love is all about. And I thank you for Jamie. I thank you for all those that are watching this, as I said, who aren't with anybody, who are lonely, who are maybe upset. Father, I pray that you give them peace. I pray that they would trust you today. I thank you so much for this opportunity to pray for those that have not put in any prayer request at all, but they have one. You know their needs, you know their situations, and we thank you in advance for what you're going to do. Thank you for the Wrestle Talk podcast, for everybody involved. I pray that you continue to bless this wonderful podcast, that you continue to grow it, bring them in from the north, from the south, from the east, and from the west. Father, we want to pray for the Jarrett family and all those who knew Jerry who might be hurting. Father, for those workers who spent a lot of time with them. We know that with all the losses going on lately, it's just been really, really difficult. But we know that you're faithful, and we know that as we get ready for the middle part of this year, that we're already chugging along, that we would just trust you. For those in Michigan and Ohio and all these states with all these things that are going on, Father, we know that you've got a plan, and we know that you control history. So we thank you so much for this opportunity to pray. You're the one who tells us to make our requests known to you. We love you. We thank you. And we ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Woo! Big Daddy P, it is always great to see you. You always lift our spirits, and we can't wait to see you again. Hopefully you can make it next week. If not, we understand. I mean,
I should be there.
Yeah,
I should be there next week.
You're good. You're good. We got your back. So, Big Daddy P, thanks for coming on tonight. We hope that you had a good time. And we will see you next week on the Wrestle Talk podcast.
We love you guys. Nightmare, nice to see you. We'll see you guys again.
All right, brother. All right. And I brought Nightmare back on because we're gonna keep things rolling right here. I mean, so far so good, guys. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to bring in our very special guest of the week. He is one of the promoters, or I guess the promoter of IWL, the Independent Wrestling League. He's got a show coming up Friday, February 24th. It's IWL Revelations. It's at the Bennington Volunteer Fire Department in Martinsburg, Virginia. So please welcome
West Virginia.
West Virginia. I'm sorry. Did I say Virginia? I apologize. West Virginia and Virginia are two different states. Joe, stop!
Don't make me get McCarthy to come after you.
No, don't make me come up there. Don't make me send ISP after you. So, all right, we're gonna welcome on to the show the one and only Michael Black. Michael, welcome to the Wrestle Talk podcast. Can you hear us?
Hey, I want to welcome y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I hear you guys.
Yeah.
What's up?
We got you. Joe, I know that you know Mike. I know that you know Mike.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
What's up?
Joe, I know that you know Michael better than anybody. We're going to go ahead and let you start the interview. So why don't you introduce us to your friend?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Black. He has been in the wrestling business for probably longer than what I have been. He's been a promoter in multiple wrestling promotions. He started this IWL, and the first question is, how has that been going since you started it?
Okay, I can hear you guys a lot better. I apologize for that opening.
I started IWL back in September 30th in in McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania. So we're not just a West Virginia company. We do put shows on in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and we're looking to branch out to other states as well, with the key word being independent. What makes us different is the word itself, independent. You're not going to see the same guys at our show that you see at all other shows. You'll see a bunch of new guys, a bunch of different guys, some guys you haven't seen before, some guys that have never been in the area, some guys that have never been in a promotion, and vice versa. And then also we run Friday nights, and because of that, we don't compete with a lot of the companies that want to run on Saturday.
That's true. The one good thing about that is that wrestling fans get to go see a wrestling show on Friday and on Saturday. So, it works out well. I was actually going to go to the last IWL show, but, kind of ended up in the hospital and all that fun stuff. But, yeah.
I know you were supposed to be there. I know you was there to watch the show and enjoy the show. Hopefully you can come out next Friday and see the show next Friday from Bennington Fire Hall. It is a great venue for us. This will be our 4th show at the venue. And we're starting to get a nice diverse crowd and people that want to come to a show on Friday that may go to a different show on Saturday.
I totally agree. Now, I've been trying to keep up with the IWL, and there's one person that I know from ATCW, and now he's in the IWL as a manager, and that is Justin Scartucci. What is going on with him? Like he used to be such a nice guy, and now he's like, I don't know.
When Scortese was in ATCW, when I was there, Scortese was our ring announcer. And then one night he decided to completely, as some would say, flip the script. Maybe he was planning something. Maybe he wanted more attention. But he basically became a manager.
Gotcha.
When I departed from ATCW, and I did the first show up in McConnellsburg, Scortese said something to me that he wanted to come watch the show. And I get that question all the time. People want to come and watch the show. They want to see. And I didn't think anything of it. I said, come and enjoy the show. Well, lo and behold, to me, he shows up. He didn't show up at that show, but he shows up at my next show. And he informs me that he is managing a tag team. And he is handling their contract and his talent and this and that. And he is constantly a thorn in my side.
Hey, us ring announcers, we're unpredictable. I'm a ring announcer in St. Louis, so I can understand. We're unpredictable. I don't have any desire to manage anybody. I don't know who I would even manage if I would manage
the
anybody.
Snitch.
I'm not managing the Snitch. No.
Oh, by the way, can I cuss on this show?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Fuck the Chiefs. From a goddamn Raiders fan,
Oh, no.
fuck the Chiefs. They ain't taking it home in the fucking dome next year.
No! Oh no! Half of our co-hosts are Chiefs fans.
See, this is why we might get along, because we're both Raiders fans.
And so is Big Hoss.
So is Big Hoss.
I am a season ticket holding Raiders fan. I am telling you right now, they are not bringing it home in the black hole. So get this idea of KC winning the Super Bowl next year. It ain't happening.
That's. I'm not quite sure. How do you think that's going to go? How do you think that's going to go over with everybody around here? Nightmare.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
How do you think that's going to go over with everyone here at Wrestle Talk Podcast? You know,
I mean, when the Night Owl's a diehard Kansas City fan, it's probably a good thing that that the Night Owl's not here or Sonny Money Mayo's not here. But we're not here to talk about football. Mike, you have a reputation in the area of having a lot of championship belts. How many belts do you have now? Because I know that you've gotten belts, you've sold belts. As a matter of fact, the FWWC Hardcore Championship was a belt that I bought from you. So,
I am an avid belt collector and appraiser and everything that Conrad does, but on a much cheaper scale. Honestly, when I say I lose count, I really do lose count. I think my count right now is right around 32 or 33 belts. I trade a lot, I sell a lot, I buy a lot. I've had anywhere up to, at one point I had 60 belts. At that time I thought I had a few too many. When you start doubling them up on the wall and you're running out of space, it's like, okay, maybe I don't need that third TV title. And I mostly now collect Japanese belts and stuff to use on the indies or stuff that can be used on the indies. I've pretty much stayed away from all of the current WWE stuff. I mean, I have all of my classic belts. I have a classic dual-plated Winged Eagle. I have a classic NWA World. I have a classic IC. I'm getting ready to get a yellow IC for the Warrior because I think it's time for me to have it. Something different, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a lot of stuff that gets used on the independents. And it's just something that I was an avid collector of.
Justin's ears perked up as soon as you said Japanese wrestling, so I'm sure.
Yeah, that's all I follow. So it's good stuff.
I saw the show on Saturday morning. For me, it came on at midnight and then played till 4 a.m. I think Jay White is doing the stop in where are they at? San Diego? No, not San Diego. San Jose, Battle of the Valley.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be working that show.
I think he's doing that, and then I think he's going straight to Orlando. If he's signed with WWE, I think if he's signed with AEW, they would have him for more dates. And something that really perked up my interest tonight by listening to the show is I have to wonder if he's not going to try to do the New Japan Strong taping schedule. But I think if he signed with another company, I really think he signed with WWE.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken, you went to a New Japan Pro Wrestling show and you got the Great Muda's autograph, didn't you?
Yes, I have an IWGP heavyweight title, 4th generation. I have a 4th generation and a 1st generation, both signed by Great Muta. Justin Scortese, before he became a thorn in my side, bought that 1st generation album. So he made a deal with me, and pretty much a couple weeks later, he went rogue on me about being an announcer. So, but I still have the 4th generation belt, which is one of my favorite belts. I have a New Japan IC title. I have an All Japan PWF title, and I'm getting ready to get a GHC Noah heavyweight title.
Nice.
That's all. So I guess you're everything's coming kind of full circle with the Great Muta his career is pretty much. They believe he's got one more match left.
One more match, yeah.
One more match left. I mean, I remember I'm not a Japanese wrestling avid follower, but his WCW, when he was over here in the States for WCW, he was just he was awesome. The handspring out. No one was doing a handspring elbow before him. So
No.
I think with me, I remember his 89 run with WCW and how great his matches were with Sting. Me and Joe are about the same age. I'm getting ready to turn 38. Well, Joe's a little bit older, but I'm getting ready to turn 38. I really didn't understand the greatness of the Great Muta until YouTube became a thing and people started uploading all of his classic matches. I didn't get Japanese wrestling. Being here in the States, I mean, I remember his 2000 run with WCW, and I knew he was a big deal, but I also thought that they were not using him right, a part of Vampiro and the Dark Carnival and ICP. I get it. They're doing an idea. They're trying to create an idea, but also I felt it was kind of a waste for a superstar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like when WCW brought in the Japanese guys. They besides Muta's first run, because that was with Gary Hart, and I'm a big Gary Hart fan. So, but when he came back in with like the NWO as part of NWO Japan, I don't feel like they really understood how to use Japanese stars.
I always looked at it as WCW would bring in the Japanese guys to job. And maybe that wasn't appropriate, but that's how it was always viewed to me. And that's just always been my opinion. I went to the Ring of Honor show that Great Muta did, I want to say back in 2003 or something like that. And then I also saw Muta at the MSG show, the Ring of Honor New Japan show, the House of Glory show, which ran the same day. And I was supposed to see him one other time, but he was supposed to do a Japanese tour and it got canceled.
Yeah.
So like a promoter was going to book him to do like four dates in the States, and the whole tour got canceled. And then I've been to the New Japan a lot of times when they do the shows that would join up with Ring of Honor. I was there, and I also did the Jersey All Pro tour of New Japan. I would say that was 12 years ago. Now that was New Japan Eastern Invasion tour, so it was a headline tour for New Japan, but they had hooked up with Jersey All Pro Wrestling for that.
So Michael, let's bring things back to IWL. What made you start the what was the antithesis of starting IWL?
The antithesis was I had unfinished business. When I departed from ATCW, I felt like I could still do more. We made a decision. We, as in that partnership that ran ATCW, we decided to part ways mutually. With that being said, I now had to go create something new and something different. And whenever you're creating something new or different, you can either be a second-rate carbon copy of somebody, or you can go out there and create something new. Whether it's good or bad, I look at the other companies that run Martinsburg area, and I try to be different. Everybody else that wants to run the Martinsburg area wants to run Saturdays. I run Fridays. the other companies are using these guys, that's fine. Have them. Have your creativity, have your ideas, have your concepts, but I'm going a different direction. And that's just been the key idea.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give the fans something different and something. I don't know the West Virginia wrestling scene as well as probably what you do and what Joe does. Does running on a Friday help or hurt?
I think right now it helps because I'm able to get new eyes on my product. There's probably just as many people that go, "Oh man, you're running Friday nights and I don't get off work until 6. And by the time I get off work and get home, it's 7 or 7:30. I can't make the show." I understand that. In my mind, in my opinion, there's just as many people that have Friday nights off and want to go out and enjoy something. And I end up booking some guys due to the fact that they want to work a Friday night show and have off Saturday.
Or the fact that they're working a Friday night show in some place where and then can drive like maybe no more than an hour and have something on a Saturday as well. So
yeah,
so you can kind of get the loop type thing.
So the goal for us is to just continue growing. So, and like I said, our next show is Friday, February 24th, and we are at the Bennington Fire Hall.
And you said this was like your third show at this hall?
Fourth show.
This will be our fourth show, our fifth show overall together. Because we ran in McConnellsburg back in September, but the venue that we have up there doesn't have heat. So running the winter, you can't really do up there. You know what I mean? And we'll be back up there in May. So, nice. But the goal right now is to get a semi-regular schedule at Bennington and grow from there.
Yeah.
So,
because right now, the only competition that you have in Martinsburg that's running on Fridays would be crap. What is that promotion? Voltage, and now WDWA is running on Friday nights too. So,
okay, I did not know anything about a WDWA running on a Friday night.
Yeah, our first show is this Friday. So yeah, so I mean, it's all good competition, and it gives everybody a great time to watch some professional wrestling.
And you bring out the best in you bring out the best in everybody too. Right. I mean, if one company, it's competition. Competition isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, and I don't think so either. I have a pretty standard business arrangement, and I still do talk to Chucky Manson, who is the owner of ATCW. I don't really talk much with LT for a few reasons. As far as Voltage, I do talk to Mike Raddick. From my understanding, Mike Raddick is running Thursday nights up in Waynesboro, PA, kind of running at a brewery. And because he's on Thursday nights, he's getting a hell of a crowd for a show. So now I think Mike will be returning to Martinsburg probably in the summertime because he was doing shows at the one bar, but it was an outdoor show, and you're just not going to do an outdoor show out in the wintertime. Not around here, at least. Yeah.
I've done many outdoor shows, and they're not outdoor shows aren't the greatest even when the weather is nice. Sometimes it's a little warm out there. So
I think if it gets above like 85, it starts to get too hot. And if you start getting below 55, it starts getting too cold.
yeah,
So,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure. I'm pretty sure I've done outdoor shows in just about every type of weather that there's been. And I see Justin is shaking his head because he's probably been in some of the same shows that we've been together at. You know.
I've done the outdoor shows where, when ATCW did the TNT detailing show, it was 102 outside.
Yeah. I remember when they.
And that was a show on a blacktop.
Yeah, I've done an outdoor show where it was probably in low 90s, and it was a vinyl mat. It was kind of a vinyl type mat. Someone got slammed on it and sat right. They got slammed on it and sat right up and was like, "Ow!"
Yeah, I remember doing the outside show with ATCW at the DMV in Charlestown, and that was a hot show.
Yeah, that was on Macadam, and that was in the afternoon at like 2:00.
Yeah,
but the one that was at TNT detailing. It almost caused me to pass out because it was 102, and I wasn't wrestling. I'm one of the few. I'm one of the few promoters that don't wrestle in this area. It's never been my forte.
True.
I like working behind the scenes. It also tells people that I'm not self-centered in making the company around me. So
funny story about an outdoor show. It goes back to our when the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup and they had the parade. We were at the Taco Festival and we had rain the rain in the morning, and then it was extreme heat. So there was heat and humidity here. And our very own Luke Skywalker Roberts was the only referee and had to do 15 matches over like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
wow!
And that poor man.
He was okay until he sat down. Once he sat down, I'm pretty sure he probably should have went to the hospital to get some fluids injected into him because he looked like he was about to die.
That's crazy.
But yeah, 15 matches because we did like 5 separate shows with like 3 or 4, or it was like 3, maybe it was 3 shows with 5 matches each. They were like 3 hours, like, and then with like about 45 minutes in between. So it was a fun show, but yeah.
I mean, and I think Nightmare knows about this show. When we were out at the fairgrounds, if he ever was in that building, because it has no heat until they put the giant ceiling fan on, it easily was like 115 in there.
Easily, very, very, very hot in there. I have a funny story.
I'm fat. I don't like to sweat.
I have a funny story.
Yeah.
So I've been working with Mike for like a long time, and I think that probably the most frustrated he got at me is the night that I sold my Undertaker Legacy Championship. He still gives a crap about that.
Did you sell it to him?
No.
I thought he lowballed himself too much. I understand having to make $1, but I think whenever he sold it, I think he could have got more for it. Now, he was smart. If I remember correctly, you kept the case.
I gave the case to him at the next show.
Oh, you suck.
Yep.
On that note, on February 24th, I have a main event, and the winner gets to beat Joe Lance.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Yes.
See, everybody loves that.
Yeah.
For some reason, everybody loves it when I get beat up. I don't
Joe
understand it.
at the end of last year got tased
I don't
in the ring.
understand it. I've been tased. I've been double choke slammed. I've been hit with the chair. You know, it's just, and all this is in WDWA. Like,
But let's talk about Friday. Let's talk about your show Friday the 24th. Looks like you have what is a Riot City Rules match? Is this a specialty type match, or from it's Van Williams and Kingpin?
Kingpin, Riot City Rules is a match that's made for Riot City's Kingpin, aka Sicken. Riot City is basically the greater Baltimore area, from my understanding.
Okay.
Van Williams has been the Kings and Queens Independent Wrestling Light Heavyweight Champion for now over a year. And every time I seem to book him against Sicken, now this will be the third time, he figures a way out of the match, like a DQ or a count out, or he gets his manager involved, or this or that, or changes the ref on me. But he figures out a way to keep the belt. And I talked to Sicken, and Sicken says the only match that I know I can beat Vam in is a Riot City Rules match. Hardcore, bring what you want. We're in West Virginia, so you know everything's legal. And that is the main event for Friday, February 24th.
And then we also the Prince Championship. Warwolf Creed is being challenged by Red Dog. What leads up to that match?
We recently, with Kings and Queens Independent Wrestling, which is a whole nother Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
It is what I just said, Kings and Queens Independent Wrestling. They do a lot of studio shows, along with their titles are defended on different promotions and different platforms. They recently had a 8-man single elimination tournament. Warwolf Creed won the tournament. And his first offense is against Red Dog. Red Dog is a pretty regular guy for me. He's been on now 3 of my shows. He wanted the opportunity to work Warwolf. It's basically the dog versus the wolf. And we're going to see on Friday who gets the win.
That's all. It sounds like a great time. You got any other things that you want to drop about the show on the 24th?
Yeah, I have. I pretty much have the card here. Sometimes this stuff doesn't get changed until last minute.
Of course.
The match I'm interested in is Bill Bain against Superior G. I think that's going to be a good match. I've never seen Superior G. I have heard about him, but I've never seen him wrestle.
Bill Bain made a surprise appearance at our January 20th show. He made a surprise appearance and decided to make an announcement that he is wrestling February 24th. And he said, I want the best competition you have. And I said, I don't know if he's the best competition, but I have different competition. And he says, I don't care. With that being said, and this is a key thing with me. A key thing with IWL is the first word, independent. I bring guys that are different from the area. Superior G heard the promo. He said, I'm interested in coming in. I'm the king of Deuce 1/5. I am the king of Philly. So Superior G got signed to work Bill Bain. I am pretty much certain neither one have worked each other. So it is a first-time matchup at IWL. Another thing we got going on, my thorn in my side, Justin Scortese, because of antics he caused at the December show. Justin was banned for the January show. I didn't put up with his antics, and I said, "You're not coming. You don't even try it. I don't want you at the building. Your guys are going to have to wrestle, but, you're not coming." Well, what he do is he go and books the damn cruise. So he pulls one over on me. While we're doing wrestling in January, he's in a cruise in the Caribbean. With that being said, Eric Ecton, who defeated Chris Slade for the heavyweight title, the IWL heavyweight title, he won the title. Eric Ecton threw Jonathan Saft, Corporal Saft, out of the group. They added Ron Holiday. They have Ian Drake. All three of them are going to be there. And Scortese secured open promo time, which is probably against my better judgment, to be at the show. We also have two other newcomers, Mr. Judgment and the Blaze, Ace Christian. I don't know much about Ace other than I talked to him very briefly. He's a young kid. I think he's got a big heart. He has a big heart, good-looking kid. He sent me some of his matches. Like I said, both of these guys, it is their debut. We also have two fine Chris Klein booked. The Freak, Mr. Amazing, and the Brotherhood of Johnny Walker and Dan Moore. JC Extreme returns, who made his debut at the last show, along with Sinister. So
where can people get? Where can the Wrestle Talk Podcast universe get tickets to the show?
All of our information is on our Facebook. Facebook.com, the IWL, THEIWL. Also, if you look at the show is called Revelations. Revelations is a partnership with my t-shirt distribution, and they are also my ticket distribution. So at revelationgifts.com, you can pick up our tickets and our merch, our new t-shirts. We also have a VIP package on there for shows. Like I said, it's a process and we're growing.
Yeah, you gotta keep growing. That's all you gotta do. Justin, do you have any final questions for? I have one final question for him in just a second. But Justin, do you have any final questions?
No, you answered my question. I wanted to know what a Riot City rules match was, and you got it. So go ahead. If you got a final question, Big Sexy.
Well, I was gonna go to Nightmare. Nightmare, you got anything else you want to know?
I am good, but for whatever your final question.
Well, apparently, Joe Hoss might need to set up a date for this Friday, for the next Friday night. So to head out to Martinsburg.
Maybe.
So anyway, Michael, we have this thing that we do here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast. We call it the Game Show Challenge, and I want to know if that you would be willing to participate. It's a trivia challenge, and I would like to know if you'd like to participate.
Yeah, I think I smoked you on the last time we did this.
Oh. and that's funny because Nightmare Jones decided that he wanted to do the Wrestle Talk
Podcast.
Go
against me.
So this is going to be a rematch?
Belt for belt.
Oh, you want to put the belt up? Okay.
Oh. All right. Well, then I guess we're good to go. We got the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. Let's go ahead and get that theme music started. Oh, is this title for title? Gee, Christmas. All right, gentlemen. It is time for the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. I'm going to ask you 3 questions about a particular wrestling topic. And tonight's contest is going to be the promoter of the IWL, Michael Black, against the Wrestle Talk Podcast OG of the WTP, Nightmare Jones. Tonight, it's going to be a best 2 out of 3 falls. You got to get two of the 3 questions right to win. The challenge category is Elimination Chamber winners.
Ooh,
I'm going to give you information about 3 professional wrestlers who have won the Elimination Chamber match. Once you think you know the answer, you don't have to wait till the end. Once you think you know the answer, go ahead and shout out the answer. And in case of a tie, Justin, keep those ears on. You're going to be the judge, jury, and possibly executioner. So,
okay.
So,
Now I'm interested.
So I got to ask you one more time, Michael, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Nightmare, you good to go?
I am ready to go.
All right. Question 1. This 2-time WWE Hall of Famer won the first Elimination Chamber match in
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Nightmare Jones is correct. He didn't even let me get the first sentence out. All right. We're going to move on to question number 2. This WWE Hall of Famer has won the most Elimination Chamber matches with 4.
Triple H.
Triple H, yeah.
Triple H is the correct answer. We are tied 1-1. Oh, you can feel the tension with the knife. Michael, are you ready for the 3rd and final deciding question?
Hold up, I might have to go grab a second belt and really challenge Joe.
Oh no. Nightmare Jones, are you ready for the 3rd, final, and decisive question?
I got one right, so I'm happy.
I mean, it's more than you normally get. Anyway, question number 3. This former MMWA competitor is the only professional wrestler to win an ECW Elimination Chamber match. At the Elimination Chamber, he will take on
Bobby Lashley.
Oh, I hate to do this, but Nightmare Jones is the winner.
Where can I pick up my belt, Mike? I'll pick it up at your show. I want the one that's signed by the Great Muta.
That one wasn't on the line there. I'll stop by Walmart and grab your belt.
Oh,
he's gonna grab you one of those little toy belts that the kids get. Michael, one more time, give us a shout out of all of your information, where they can find you, where they can find IWL, and all the good social media stuff.
Hey, this is Mike Black of IWL. Our information, our social media is at facebook.com, the IWL, THEIWL. I'm on there. You can add me on your private, your Facebook friends. Where you can get our tickets at revelationgifts.com. Our tickets, our merch, our IWL shirts, and some other stuff that I got planned are all going to be on there. Come out and check a show out. I think we deliver something different. And sometimes that's something different is always better.
It's not a bad thing. So Michael, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Make sure you check out IWL Revelations, Friday, February the 24th at the Bennington Volunteer Fire Department in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Check them out and get your tickets. It's going to be, it sounds like it's going to be a great show, and maybe you'll even see Joe and Big Hoss there. Michael, thank you for coming on. We hope to have you back again sometime. And you are always going to be
I'm always available to talk wrestling, even if it's not just my company. I do follow. I don't necessarily follow everything that they do on Monday nights or Wednesday nights. Joe knows I have a strong disdain for anything out of Jacksonville.
He does.
Wrestling company wise, and the stupidity level of that promoter and owner. I do follow a lot of the NWA. They had a great pay-per-view in Tampa this past weekend. And like you guys have heard, I do follow Japan very closely as well. I think I have a different opinion. I don't say my opinion's always right, but I think I have that at least.
Everyone comes from a different background, so I don't have the Japan background that everybody else does, but I know Justin loves it. I think he loves the classic stuff too, because he posts occasionally. He'll post in our group chat a match between like Big Van Vader and Stan Hansen from Japan back in the
they beat the shit out of one another.
Yeah,
basically.
One of the greatest things about Japan is the All Japan Tag League tournament. That tournament is phenomenal. I've watched almost every British Bulldog match from Japan, probably twice. And I watch a lot of Liger, and I watch a lot of the classics. And like I said, I watch the current stuff. I don't have much of a I really cannot sit and watch 3 hours on Monday and 2 hours on Friday. I do catch a lot of the pay-per-views, but a lot of times I catch the highlights. I have a strong belief that, and this is part of WWE Creative, I think they put more emphasis on backstage and entrances because whether it's inadvertently or on purpose, Kevin Dunn has more creativity with that instead of what's shot in the ring. I think he's very bored with what gets shot in the ring. He doesn't think of the art and the creativity of what happens in the 20x20. And that's their opinion. I do watch a lot of the other independents, MLW. I watch a lot of Game Changer. I try to keep up on things. I try to follow some of the trends. A lot of the deathmatch wrestling I do watch. Like I said, even if it's not to talk about my company, I think I have an opinion that's just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, awesome. We would love to have you back sometime. So, Michael Black, IWL Revelation, Friday night, February the 24th. Join him, Michael. Once again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Get reconnected with Big Joey. So, good luck to you on the 24th.
You guys have a good night. I'm out, and fuck the Chiefs.
One more.
There you go.
One more shot as he goes out. So, boys, I think we had a pretty darn good show tonight. What do you guys think?
2 hours went by very fast.
It was a very fast show. Justin, what was I going to say?
Yes.
I still can't think of the celebrity that I actually chose over Cyndi Lauper. It's gonna come to me, and I'm gonna put it in the group chat as soon as I think of it.
Okay. My final thoughts, as Jerry Springer used to do. Good show, and happy Valentine's Day to my lovely wife, Desiree. Today is the day of love.
I hope you're going to take her out after this.
Yes, I think there's a nice little deal they have at this place called Jack in the Box. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they.
I've never been to Jack in a Box. Can't say I've ever had there.
It's fairly popular in the Midwest and the West Coast.
Well, before we go, we got to shout out one more time to all of our sponsors here at the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Royal Mills Transportation, Dewan, the CEO, Dewan Mills, Rathbun Engraving, those beautiful Wrestle Talk Podcast mugs, Nolan's Barberman Lounge in KC, Missouri, Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall, I-70 Sports Media with the one and only the maestro Jeremy Karp, Little Popeye Designs, who makes those beautiful Wrestle Talk Podcast tumblers, and the one and only FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. Well, Joe, I have to tell you, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you here tonight.
Yes, sir. It was a lot of fun.
And I hope that you come on a little bit more often and hang with us, because you have a lot to offer, because you are the OG of this podcast. So
we would definitely have to see.
And
it'd be a lot of fun.
And Big Hoss has a final thought for Joe. It's taser, taser, taser. So
see. I thought Hoss was a friend of mine, but yet him and his sister want me to get tased like on a constant basis, and I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, tasing people are fun. I don't know, Justin. Don't you like watching people get tased?
I've been tased. It's okay.
You've been tased?
Yeah. When I was doing martial arts training back in the day, they had an option where you can get maced or tased, like for self-defense. To see how
I would get tased rather than I get maced.
Well,
yeah,
I
would want to get maced.
So being tased is like having your hand on one of those fences that they try to keep cows out of, but it's like 20,000 times worse. So, yeah,
I would probably there would probably be a mess after I
rode that lightning. So
yeah,
rode the lightning.
So, Joe, do you have any final thoughts of the Wrestle Talk from this week, from this show?
This has been a freaking amazing show. It was great to have Mike on, and it was great to be back tonight, and hopefully we can do this again.
And we are
a lot of fun.
And we are so happy that you are feeling so much better. We were worried about you for the longest time. You still have your GoFundMe up and running?
I do. It's still up there.
So head on over to Joe Lance on Facebook. He's got a GoFundMe because he's got medical bills out the wazoo, probably.
Yeah, a lot of medical bills.
That's one thing about this country is this the healthcare system is not the greatest here.
That's true.
But then we're not going to get political again. So
there you go.
So Justin, Joe, it's been a pleasure being with you guys this evening. Have fun at your Valentine's Day at Jack in the Box. And Joe, it's great seeing you again. For Justin, Joe at the Wrestle Talk Podcast, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we will see you again next week. We'll have another great guest. More wrestle. We'll have results from the Elimination Chamber, and I'm sure something will happen in the world of professional wrestling. So thanks for
the Snitch will still be the Dynamo.
He will still be the champion, yes, but that's because we don't have a show scheduled before next week. So you are correct. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please, everyone, have a good time and be safe. And we will see you next Tuesday on the Wrestle Talk Podcast.